Hello and welcome to another follow along video with Stephanie from STEM Fitness. Today we're going to be working on an upper body focused workout. I have some 5-pound dumbbells with me. You're welcome to use, a heavy water bottle, some dumbbells, or even just some wrist weights if you have that as well. Today's workout is going to be perfect for your follicular phase, even your ovulation, and the beginning of your luteal. So ideally, any day between day 7 and day 20 of your cycle. If you don't know anything about where you're currently at in your cycle or about the follicular, ovulation, or luteal, or even menstrual phase, I highly suggest downloading the app Lively. Not only does it track your period for you, but it also gives you daily tips on what to eat, how to move, how to rest, everything that has to do with cycle syncing, which I'm of course all about helping us women succeed with our hormones, yeah? So go ahead and download the app Lively and then go ahead and find you some weights for your upper body and let's get started. First, I'm gonna offer a quick stretch for your chest and your upper back. So if you wanna meet me on all fours, we'll get some cat and cows in to begin, yeah? Inhale to roll your shoulders back, dropping the abs to the floor and arch up. Exhale to pull your abs up and away from the floor, rounding the spine. One more inhale to round and arch. Exhale to pull up and away. Very similarly, inhale up the right arm to the sky. Really open up that chest. Exhale, contract the abs and thread that right arm underneath so we get a nice twist in the spine. Let's get one more. Inhaling up the right, up the chest. Exhale, contract your abs and thread that arm through. So you get a nice shoulder stretch here. Before we do the other side, keep your pelvis up to the sky and send your hands forward. This is a puppy pose. Relax the chest down to the floor. From here, contract your glutes and round up so you're in another cat position. And then arching the spine, sending the hands forward, pelvis back up to the sky. One more time, tucking the pelvis under. From here, we'll get the other side. Yeah, inhaling up the left arm, opening up the chest. Exhale, contract your abs and then thread the arm underneath, completing your spinal twist. One more here. Inhale up the left. Exhale, contract and thread. On any kind of workout, I love to start with a little bit of ab work after a stretch, just so that I can really get my core ignited and strengthened so that I can work from the inside out, if that makes sense, yeah, rather than going straight for the arms. I want to get a little core engagement working. This will also help when we come up off from laying the floor and then we're still engaging our core and protecting the rest of our spine, yeah? But I am gonna start with the weights, so go ahead and take them over your center here. You can bring the hands all the way together if you'd like. Bring your legs up to a tabletop position without arching your low spine. Go ahead and send one foot down to the floor at a time, exhaling to pull that knee back up to neutral. At no point in today's workout do I want to lock out any of my joints, specifically my elbows or the shoulders. We want to keep nice lengthened joints, relaxed joints. Get a couple more here, yeah, right and left. Last round. From here, we can separate the hands so that they're shoulder width apart. I want you to extend your right foot and extend your left arm on a diagonal from where you started, and then exhale, bring it together. You might have heard of this be called a dead bug. Inhale to lengthen the opposite side. Exhale to bring it back to neutral. Let's keep going from here. Same thing. You want to keep your bicep as it extends backwards to not go past your ear. That's when the shoulder is going to contract up into the ear. We want to keep that neck nice and long. Exhale to pull. Let's get one more each side, keeping that low back, relax towards the floor, no arching. Exhale to center and take a quick release. Keep your elbows down by your side. You can squeeze your forearms into your waistline. Go ahead and plant your feet on the floor right next to your glutes. We send exhale, press the hands up, inhale, release. See if you can keep a little hover, like a centimeter off the floor with the back of the arms as they come back down to your side. Exhale, press. If you want to get a little bit for those low abs and even some glutes in the back side of the legs, go ahead and lift the hips up to the sky so you're in a bridge. Exhale to press, keeping those hands nice and parallel. If you want, you can even add a little pulse with those hips. We got 8 more. Scoop those abs underneath. Dig those heels into the floor. Last 3, 2, hands stay up, lower the hips. We're gonna open them out to the side. Exhale, press. As you open these arms out to the side, they're gonna stay a little bit lower than the shoulders. So not out here at a T, all right? A little bit lower. Think they're closing right above your sternum. So that would be right where your rib cage starts to open. Let's see if we can have that same hover the back side of the arms off the floor. The other thing that I tend to notice here, so when we're closing the chest, is that sometimes we see the wrist like this, and then we wonder why our wrist hurts. We want to keep the wrist in line with the rest of the arm. So I like to think about bringing my knuckles together here, really closing my circle of energy like you're giving a tree a big hug. I'm also thinking about closing my rib cage with my obliques, with my exhale. If you want to take the pelvis back up to the sky, we got another 15 seconds here. Feel free to take this even slower. Slow and controlled is equally as hard, if not even harder. We got last 8, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower the hips, drop the weights, hug your knees into your chest, draw some circles, relax the hip flexor. All right, y'all, I'm coming onto my shins, and apologies if my head gets cut off here, but I'm just gonna take a little bit different level with the rest of my torso. With this one, we're gonna keep a nice straight spine without overarching to try to, get taller or sit down here. All right, so we're engaging the core, lifting up in that pelvic floor we're gonna take it into some bicep curls here now. Just another thing, in case you would like to up your heart rate a little bit, feel free to do any of these upright moves in a wide lunge or standing parallel with your knees bent. Just never lock out those knees, all right? But if you're on your shins like me, I'm gonna take my knees about 2 fist widths apart, so we're not perfectly together, but we're not too crazy. Yeah, almost like hip width with the knees. Now, I'm gonna take it into some bicep curls. So go ahead and glue your elbows into your waistline here. Exhale to lift, palms up to the sky. With this one, we do want a nice wide shoulders here. So a tall, proud chest is what I'm hearing lately online. Proud chest, I love that. But with this proud chest, we're gonna not, like I said, extra overarch because we're extra proud. We can be extra proud, but engage those low abs. So you have a slight tuck under, not really tuck, but just a lift in those sits bones so that we can engage that pelvic floor muscle. Now, I've also been hearing a lot about, how do I strengthen my pelvic floor? Can I only do Kegels? Well, you can do a Kegel or a pelvic floor lift in just about any movement if you think about it in like a pulling sensation. So I'm pulling up with my biceps here, and I'm also thinking little lift in that pelvic floor, little lift in that pelvic floor. You can do it in a lot of movements, especially in a glute bridge. You can start with the pelvic floor, little Kegel lift, hold the Kegel lift, etc. We got another 15 seconds here. I'm yapping. If you want, like I said, you can maybe hop up to the knees, add a little level change. Maybe you're in a sumo squat and you got a little pulse. We got last 8. Glue those elbows in so we're not swinging out here, yeah? Last 3, 2, and 1. From here, wherever you are, I want you to incline your chest forward. So maybe you're a little lifted on the hips, and maybe you're standing but incline chest forward. Bring your hands to your hips. We're gonna extend and pull. Classic row. Exhale to bring those elbows back and in a little bit, giving your shoulder blades a nice squeeze back there. Here, again, I can do a little Kegel, pulling up in that pelvic floor as I pull my hands back, squeezing up. Now, I promise you, that will help you maintain not only a long, beautiful spine, but it's gonna protect that low back by lifting up in your low abs. In this position particularly, sometimes we'll see this. There is no low ab engagement here, and I got a round back. That's not cute, but with the same thing being said as earlier, I hope you're still rowing with me. We don't want to see this either, because drop my abs. You're just trying a little too hard. A little overachieving sometimes is not good. So we want to pull up in the pelvic floor and those low abs, so we lengthen the low back. Let's get 4 more. Last 2 and 1. Go ahead and drop those weights. Give me a quick child's pose. Relax the low spine, chest through the thighs. Slow down your breathing real quick. Inhale through the nose, exhale, sigh it out. Maybe a little side body stretch. Take the hands to the right, pull your hips to the left. Keep taking slow, deep breaths. Let's go the other direction. Like I said a little earlier, you can definitely be taking these rows with 20, 30-pound dumbbells and go slow. Or even light weights and go slow. I'm going on a little sculpt pace today, so don't feel free if you're not on the same tempo as me. Let's just have fun. Yeah? All right, moving on. For this one, we'll be doing a shoulder press. Now, if you're seated and you like to sit this way, that's totally fine. Again, lifting here so we're not slouching. However, that doesn't feel great for my hips on my body, so I'm gonna meet you back on my shins with my knees again 2 fist widths apart. If you're standing, feel free to do it in a parallel position or a nice wide lunge or something else that feels safe on your body. Yeah? All right, with this one, also, we're gonna take our hands to a cactus. There's a lot to talk about with shoulder press. We're gonna alternate, so if you're ready, go ahead and get on in it. Let's check in with our low spine to start, getting up nice and tall, applying everything that I just said before. I'm not gonna repeat myself. Notice how my hands are a little in front of my torso, yeah? We don't wanna be directly out here because that hurts the shoulder blades. Ouch. Take it in front. Neck is relaxed. I wanna see if we can keep our weights higher than our nose. We'll see. Call me out if I do something wrong, if I drop too low, yeah? As well, so many things to think about. That's what I'm here for. We wanna keep the wrists tracking over the elbow. So sometimes we see this. Bang. Ooh, that hurts my elbow. Someone should think about Stephanie. Yes, I know, but you can do it. You can do it. We got another 15 seconds here. Try to keep the wrist a little wide. So it might come in and then out. In and then out. You get a little lat work in there. We need that. Last 6, 5, 4. Exhale, 3, 2, and 1. Shake it out. All right, from here, take it into some triceps. So, take a deep breath. Wherever you are, find that same incline position that we found a little earlier. Take your hands to your hips, all right? Again, we're going to alternate tricep kick back. Now, with this one, I wanna see if you can find the control to stop your weight at your hip and then kick it back out. And I love the alternating one as well because, well, both your arms are pretty much working the entire time. But sometimes when we do single arms, we see people, starting to open up this shoulder. I know, because it gets hard, it gets tough. But with this alternating one, I wanna see if you can keep your shoulder, your whole torso, very square, so it doesn't rock at all. We're on a nice incline. Exhale to kick back, and then have the control to stop it at your hip, rather than doing one of these. Swing. Now let me see your hips swing. All right, go ahead and give me a nice big lift up in that pelvic floor with every kick back. I know this one is not a pulling motion, but you can still lift up in that pelvic floor muscle. You can still engage those low core abdominals, keeping your back flat without arching or curling. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take another reset down to the floor. All right, y'all, another little ab arm combo. Feel free to not add this ab lower body section if you just want to work on the upper body, but we're gonna come back down to the floor on our back. With this one, our hands are gonna go parallel, straight up from the shoulders. They're gonna bend without moving the arm, just bend the elbow. Notice how the hands come in towards the ears, and exhale, press the hands back up. That's it, just another tricep move here. Exhale, press, very similar. Now, a couple options here if you want to add some deep core work. With your feet planted is totally fine. Keep exhaling, lowering that low back towards your mat, so we're not arching the low back. A couple options though, you can lift your legs up to a tabletop position. Keep going, you can lift your legs all the way up to the sky. Keep going. You can extend your feet on the floor and flex your toes. Still trying to gently press your low abs, low spine towards the floor. Neck staying relaxed. As you extend those hands, no need to lock out those elbows, yeah? Let's get 6 more. Very parallel with those arms, straight up and down. Last 3, 2, and 1. Roll on forward. From here, sitting up nice and tall, we have some shoulder presses. Just a little pulse, yeah? So I want you to scoop your elbows to be in front of your shoulders. And about 90-degree angles with these arms. Try not to let them come in here. A little bit wider, a little bit wider. Maybe that's like 110 degrees. Like I know you're giving me 110% right now. Give a little wiggle to your fingers so we're not over gripping these dumbbells. Maybe wiggle them up to the sky. We got 8. Keep them up over the eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend those arms, take a quick reset. You can either stay here on your sits bones, or if you're like me, go ahead and come on up to your shins with the knees a little bit apart, all right? We're keeping the arms a little bit bent, yeah? Maybe find a 130 degree. I don't know, I'm not into math like that. Exhale to lift out on a slight diagonal. As we lift out to the side, keep those shoulders down. And we're gonna try to do our best. Again, feel free to call me out. This one I'm not my maybe strongest in, so feel free to call me out. But we're gonna try our best to not do this. Chicken wing. Lift it up, angel wing. I don't know, I just made that up, but keep those elbows lifted, and you only go as high as before you feel, we don't wanna keep those shoulders in the ears, keep them down. Exhale, abs down to take the hands up. Let's get 4 more. The last 2, and 1, nice work. All right, y'all, that is it for our upper body workout today. If you feel like you need a little bit more, maybe run it back and try it again, or maybe try some heavier weights next time. But before you go, I think we should stretch out a little bit more, yeah? So if you're ready, let's actually come on down to our front side, our prone side. Take your arms out to a T. Lift your left foot and send it over to your right fingers. Getting a nice stretch. My back just popped. Hopefully his ears did. Let that go, and you can do the other side. Ooh, I needed that. From here, staying on your back, hug your knees into your chest. You can take your knees one direction and spiral the other way, really trying to get that shoulder down. Opening up the chest, taking big, deep breaths. And the other way as well. Feel some gratitude for just moving your body in a great way today. Last one here before I let you go. Plant your feet, give me a nice high glute bridge. You can interlace your fingers behind your back, roll your shoulders back, lift up in those hips, let the blood come back down to your heart, maybe a gentle sway. And then you can let that go, roll down through the spine, and come on up. Nice work. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, download the app Lively so you know exactly when your next 7 through 20 days of your cycle is, or follicular ovulation and early luteal. It's the best time to really be working our muscles and working towards gaining our strength. If you want to learn more, download the app and let's get cycle syncing together.